Alright, so I decided to go ahead and make some chocolate milk because we are out. So I thought, why not show you how we make chocolate milk? So I'm setting this out. I'm going to do some cream separating, but this one here, I'm going to go ahead and leave the cream in. I usually leave a little bit. I may pull a little bit off, but I usually leave about an inch line on there. And so I'll mix the chocolate milk in here and then fill it up the rest of the way with some more milk. The reason why I leave it down is because when you add the chocolate syrup that we're going to make, if you don't leave it down when you put the immersion blender in there, it will make a mess. So I learned that the hard way. So let's make the chocolate syrup. So just need a small saucepan. I use this one. I have used the bigger one that we have as well, but I've got some organic cocoa powder, a little bit of salt, a little bit of homemade vanilla that I put in that bottle, and some sugar. Alright, so we just need half a cup. I don't know why, but I've used the quarter cup. But, we need half a cup in the saucepan. This is super simple. This is kid tested. I've made some syrups and they weren't fans of them, but this one they really like, and we use it in our raw milk, and I make probably at least 2 gallons of milk, of chocolate milk every week. So we're just going to add a cup of sugar to our pan. And then we just want to whisk that, and we just want to mix that up good. Alright, then we're going to turn to get the lumps out. There's a lump of cocoa. Now I got this cocoa powder from Azure. I bought a great big thing of it because we were going through so much. So now what you're going to do is you're going to turn this on medium, and you're going to add half a cup of water. We got half a cup of filtered water. We're just going to add that in and mix that up really good. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Now, a little bit is like 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, if I can get that open. Alright. 1/8 of a teaspoon. Now I don't measure, I just pour out just a little bit in my hand, so. And then we'll just stir that in. You can put that in before you put the water in if you'd like. Now the vanilla will go in after this cools down just a little bit. We're going to bring it to just a little bit of a boil, and then it needs to like boil for just like 30 seconds. Then we're going to take it off the heat and place it over here, let it cool down, and then we'll add the vanilla to it, and then we'll be ready to mix it in with the good raw milk. Try not to multitask too much, or you might overboil your chocolate syrup. So I've turned the burner off. I took it off of the stove, which is sitting over here now. Let me show you. It's sitting here on this glass hot pad. I'm going to stir it, let it cool down a little bit. It's a good idea to stir it occasionally while it is heating up, but definitely don't put it on anything over medium. You will boil it over, because once it starts boiling, it gets very foamy and comes up pretty fast. Okay, so we're just going to let this sit. I'm going to let this sit here for just a little bit, and then I'll add the vanilla, and we'll be ready to go. So let's go ahead and add the vanilla. Now this is a bottle that I used to buy vanilla. I have some marinating in vanilla beans in the cabinet, and I occasionally pour some in here. So I'm just going to add just a little bit, like a teaspoon of this vanilla. Again, I don't measure always, so we're just going to mix that up really good. Mix that up really good. Smells amazing. Okay, so now it's time to get the immersion blender ready and get the milk over here and get it ready to pour in there and stir up. So this is the immersion blender that I have. It is a Cuisinart Smart Stick. I've had this for years. I absolutely love it. I use it in soups when I'm making like potato soup. I've used it to puree tomatoes because some of our kids don't like tomato chunks. I have used it in, of course, chocolate syrup. You can use it in making mayo. I use it a lot. This was a great purchase. If you don't have one, you can use a whisk or a mixer. Just have to be careful not to whip the milk too much because you might get like chocolate whipped cream. I don't know. All right, so here's our milk. I'm just gonna mix it up just a little bit. It is really better if you leave some of the cream in it. I always leave just a little bit of cream in the milk now. It just gives it a better flavor and just all around better. All right, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna mix this up really good. And then I'm gonna do two things at one time. Because this is hot and this is cold milk, I'm going to mix as I go so that it doesn't cause a hot spot. And you'll see it change. Look at that yumminess. Now I'll just go ahead and clean the rest of this out. I want all of the chocolate out of here. Okay, so we've got the chocolate in there, and I got some more milk from the fridge. I actually found these glass milk jars on Amazon. They're wonderful because they're a ½ gallon and they take up much less space than one of my mason jars would. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour this in here to make the full gallon, and I'm just going to mix it up again. So now I'm going to put this milk back in the fridge, and then I'm going to get 2 of these. I have 4 total, 2 for white, 2 for chocolate. So now the next step is to fill them up. I'm going to get my funnel, and we're going to put the chocolate milk in these 2 and we get them in the fridge. All right, I hear the grandbaby waking up, so let's get this finished. So this is the funnel that I have. A friend of mine has a stainless steel funnel, and it's bigger than this, and I'm on the hunt for that. So I'm just gonna take the lid off of this, and I'm actually gonna put this in the sink and set it down in there because I do make a mess sometimes, especially with the first one because this is so full of chocolate milk right now. I do spill a little bit of it. So you'll get to see how messy I am. Oh, maybe not too bad. So we got both jugs filled. Now I only fill them up this far. I try to leave a little bit of space because because I keep some of the cream in it, it will separate a little bit, but the chocolate will actually separate out a little bit and settle in the bottom. So that way that leaves enough room to mix it up and mix it up before they drink it for the first time. So there is a little bit left in here, but that is gonna go in my glass, and I'm gonna have a treat of chocolate milk this morning. So let me know if you make this below, because this is some of the best chocolate milk, and it's actually good for you. It doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it, doesn't have a lot of extra sugar, and the kids love it, and they're getting the raw goodness of the milk as well. And it's a great way to use up milk because we get over 1 gallon a day. It's just really, really good. It's also a great way to get if maybe you are new to the raw milk, like we were just a few months ago. It's a great way to get your family on board with drinking some of the milk. So try it and see what you think.